All right, YouTube, here we are. We are back. Today I want to give you a little update video about the Hydra HS225. I got here last night and we got on some coons. One of them was in a hand trap, so he had nowhere to go. The other one was about 109 yards. So first and foremost, I've got to say the mount is repeatable. I took this home, left the rifle here, and it returned to zero. You'll see the first shot was at 109 yards. We kind of screwed up and we didn't load the rifle. The magazine wasn't inserted all the way, which is our fault. So, you know, it is what it is. But basically, making a shot at 110 yards, it hit the mark. We found blood and we got 2 dead coons this morning. So I brought my taipan here today too, and I wanted to clarify a few things. First and foremost, I don't know if you'll see this, I'll put a B-roll, but I added a polarizing filter. So when I did the first video, I misspoke and I said that there was no screen brightness for the screen itself on this Hydra. I was actually wrong. There's 5 settings, but it was already on the lowest of the 5. So I think the brightness settings are for daytime bright when you use it during the day. This being a thermal, it probably goes across all their products with the rest of their stuff that has day-night. For the thermal, I don't think you need it that bright. I wish that it would go lower, but since it doesn't, I have a polarizing filter. So if you know about camera systems and stuff like that, you basically have this little rotating thing, which makes it really convenient. You can look through it and you can start dimming it down by just turning this. And this is just a 3D printed ring. This is a 37 millimeter Amazon $20 special that you would usually put on the camera. Works fantastic. So here I put a rhinestone. So when I am hunting, if I have to look, I can put my finger. If I touch the rhinestone, I know that it's the pallet. If I go past it or I stay on this side, I know that it's the zoom, and I can find the damn thing without feeling my way through, because you can't feel your way through. I left the tape on the power light over here. I mean, if it's on, you know it. You don't need it. So, but anyway, that's basically the update on the Hydra. Now, some people are asking in the comment, you know, why is this HS225 any good, or if it is any good in comparison to everything else. So what you got to keep in mind is that this is a 25 millimeter lens. This is a 384 sensor. So I did the calculation at home. If you multiply both numbers and see the amount of pixels, this has double the amount of pixels of this. However, look at it as if you're looking at a screen in a big picture. If you're only using a portion, in other words, if your field of view is a lot smaller, this amount of pixels versus a picture that's bigger with double the amount of pixels, it's not going to look any better. Now, add insult to injury, this one has the double amount of pixels, but the native zoom is 1.5x, and this one is 3x. So basically, my truck decided to do shit. So basically what it means is that if you look at the amount of pixels for the size of the screen, you know, yes, you have double the amount of pixels on a 384, but you're double zoomed here, so your field of view is smaller. So what I'll do here in a minute, I'll do a B-roll showing the same view from this sensor and this sensor, looking at something as the sun's coming out. It's going to start having some good heat differences and stuff. And you can compare side by side, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So this thing and this thing, yeah, this is only a 256 sensor. This is a 384 sensor. I actually think that one looks better, but the field of view is smaller. Take that for what you will. All right, and we're back. So here's the setup. I have the Hydra on the left side. I have the taipan. As you can see, I am recording right now on my phone. So I am recording on my phone the taipan, and I am pointed at that area over there, which is about 35 yards or so. So I'm going to go ahead and walk so you can see. Hold on. My taipan messed up here. Hold on. You just try to switch over to cellular for whatever reason. So I restarted on the taipan. All right. So I'm going to walk out so you can see what I look like on thermal view. And it'll give you an idea of the clarity and the differences between a 384 sensor and that 256 sensor with a smaller field of view. So let me get back here. All right. So here it is. Hopefully the footage looks okay. I am going to zoom in. I'm going to go over there and zoom in on the taipan to give it a 3x magnification so you have the same zoom level. Now keep in mind, like I said, you have the double amount of pixels on the taipan, but you also have only 1.5 magnification. So when you digital zoom, which I'm going to do right now, you'll see that the clarity goes down. There you go. So now you're comparing apples to apples. I think the Hydra might still be even zoomed in more, but it'll give you a better idea of what that little Hydra does with a low level sensor. Again, I'm assuming that I'm in the field of view. You can see me walking out, and this is on white hot. When you do black hot, you'll have more definition, and I actually will show you some footage of that. You get a better idea of the background. So here we go, and let me go switch it to black hot real quick while we're recording, and that will wrap up the video. It's a beautiful day today. It's kind of cool this morning. I think it's in the upper 50s by now. It's going to get to the 80s here in Texas today. All right, so let's go ahead and switch this to black hot. All right, so that's black hot on the taipan, and that is black hot on the Hydra. So now both of them have it. And I'm going to walk one more time so you can see what that looks like. So the other thing here is that little cover back here comes with a cap, so you can actually protect your rear lens. This one came, like I showed you last time, with a cover on the front, but it doesn't come with a cover on the back. So this will actually protect the lens as well. Another thing to point out, for those of you that never used one of these before, there is a focus on the front and there's a focus on the back. The back is basically the objective focus. Since I need reading glasses, I adjust this so I can see the screen, I can see all the writing and all that stuff good. Works perfect. Once you set it, you kind of forget it unless you use it as a clip-on, which screws everything else up. The front one, because this is such a small lens, it's kind of the same thing. If you have a big, 16 power scope, or anything over 12 power usually has an AO, adjustable objective. The smaller the lens in the front, the less you have to worry about it. I think this is kind of the same way. I've never had to refocus this. Everything's in focus. What it translates to is that when you're in the field shooting at critters, you don't have to jack with it. You don't have to keep focusing. I've seen some really big, nice, expensive thermals that have a big 50mm objective, and you see the guys in the field and they constantly have to readjust that that lens. So take it for what you will. You know, this is obviously budget, but it is kind of a feature, so to speak. It allows you to take all your shots and do all your stuff without messing with it for the most part, which is basically what I think on this scope, this is what it's made for. You don't have, you know, day and night, 2 different screens and all this crap. You turn it on and it works. That's the gist of it. I think all thermals should be used for that purpose, where it's easy to use and so forth. So the rhinestone, tested it last night in the dark. It worked pretty good. As long as you get a little moon, you can actually see it too if you want to look at it. You can see it glow a little bit, you know, because it's like a little diamond. So it allows you to find it. And I put it in the middle so I could find the button in either direction. Now, what you will see from a footage standpoint on the recording that I did not know, I turned the automatic recoil activated recording. That was a no-no. The reason for that is, and I haven't played with it since I turned it off. I watched the footage last night, and the first thing I saw is that it actually stops. I think it records 10 seconds before, and it stops right at. It seems like it. I had so many files superimposing each other, and they all stopped. And the fact that this thing recorded on top of it, it looks like it messed it up. So my recommendation would probably be to leave that auto shot crap off and then hold this down for 2 seconds, the back button, before you're going to get started. You got to be careful with that. If you only press it short, it only goes for 10 seconds. So if you're going to shoot at something and you're like, okay, I'm going to record, you push it, you don't hold it down long enough, it's going to record for 10 seconds. And then by the time you take your shot, you're not going to capture anything. So, you know, if you're doing this for YouTube views, you may want to be super careful what you do here. Me personally, I think they should change their software. The first thing, like I said, they should set this up, since this is a thermal for nighttime, recalibrate the brightness so you don't have to use this lens, to where you can take it down way further down. That's number one. Number two, the color palette. Take those damn iron hot, red hot shit off. I'm never going to use that. I mean, you're shooting critters. You turn that other shit on and you got blue screens everywhere. If you could just do white hot, black hot, that'd be badass. That's great. Number two, your zooming levels. If it was me, I would do it to where you have your zooming level and you can pick which zooming level you want. For example, you could go on 3. You could skip, go directly to 9 and skip 12 and only have 2 zooming levels, so you're close and far. The benefit of that is that I think for close-up shot, 3 is great. When you shoot further out, 9 is great. 12 is too much. The other one in between, I usually skip through it anyway. So if you could do it to where it's just 1, 2, in, out, it's really easy to push. One push and you're at the zoom level close or far. So that'd be cool. The last thing is the record. Take that stupid 2-second thing off, have it push it one time, it records, one time and it stops. I don't see a justification ever to be wanting to do press for 10 seconds and then let it stop. You know, if you're going to do that, I don't know. It seems to me like on, off, press it to turn it on, press it to turn it off. Anyway, this is my quick update. Really nice and excited about the fact that this mount returned to 0. That's my quick update. Like I said, I'm going to do a B-roll. I'm going to put these side by side pointing at the same thing, and I'll record on both, and you'll be able to see what double the amount of pixels but half the amount of zoom native magnification does for you, and what an $800 thermal can do nowadays. I think it's fantastic. I'm not going to say you should buy one of these if you want to do YouTube videos, so to speak, and do footage, you know, like you see Lone Star Boars and things like that. They have all kind of kill videos where it looks really cool, you know, and you have really high resolution. This is basically more for hunting purposes than doing video footage. Now, last thing, and you'll see when I post this and I do the actual footage, the sound quality. I'm still trying to figure out where the microphone is on this thing, but I was really impressed with the quality of the sound when you're actually talking and whispering before you take the shot. I don't know where the microphone is at, but it sounded really good. So if you want to have footage when you shoot and you want to whisper what you're doing, this thing will actually hear you, because I was able to hear myself in the video afterwards. So anyway, that's the quick update. Like I said, I'll do a little video side by side so you see what stuff looks like. But I gotta say, thumbs up again on the Hydra. Me personally, I think for 800 bucks, what you get is probably a game changer for people that are going to want to, you know, thermal hunt and don't want to break the bank, because it's not a gimmick. It works. It's repeatable. It looks really good. There's no doubt you can get on critters with it at night. 100 yards, no problem. We almost decided to shoot 300 last night on that coon because he had nowhere to go, but we decided if we missed and hit the feeder, if somehow the crosshair is not calibrated properly, there would be an issue. So we decided not to. But I may also today, I have steel out to 750 yards, so I may decide to go shoot a steel plate. I think the closest one after 100 yards is 300. So I may try to take a shot at 300 and see if I can hit it. If I can hit it, great. But like I said, more likely, I don't know that I would take a shot with this thing at 300 yards anyway, most of the time. So anyway, share, subscribe. See you next time. Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you got any questions or comments, you want to know more information, I can give you that information. I even have the file to do this. I mean, like I said, this is going to be a game changer for people that have thermals that break up your night vision at night. We had no problem looking through this, taking a shot, and still seeing in the dark, which is phenomenal. It is way too bright from the factory. So if anybody wants to know, obviously different scopes will have different size, so you may have to resize it. Either in your slicer, you can scale it afterwards. I did a few prints until it got nice and tight, and I mean, it ain't going nowhere. You got to stick it on there, and it holds really good, so it works. All right, see ya. Fantastic.
We're not going to see it. I mean, he ran, but I caught him on the move.
And we're good to go. All right, here we go. You ready? Yeah. All right, what we have today, if you can see where I put my crosshair right there, is a plate at 300 yards. That plate over there is at 750. And that plate right there is at 733. These targets here are at 100 yards. And the KYL right here is at 50. So, for practical purposes, I'm going to try to shoot that plate, which is tiny at 3x, at 300 yards using the ballistic compensator. So I'm going to look it up on my phone and see what I got to do to get there. Back in a minute. Alright, we're back. My Ruger Precision with the 80 grain Sierras would be 1.1 mil to 300. I'm going to say that this is going to be slower because it's only an 18-inch barrel. So I'm going to go 4.5, 6, 9, And I think that's the IPSC. Hopefully that's not the pig that's behind it at 400. I don't think it is. I think the pig is still in the shade. Alright, so here goes nothing. I'm going to do a little bit over 1. Here goes nothing. See if I hit it. And that's a hit. 300 yards. I would say the ballistic calculator works good enough.